Hi everyone, we are Group 6. I am วัฒนนนท์เจตสกุล
And I'm Lalisaran Katangwan.
and today we will talk about life skill, thinking critically. Without further ado, let's get started.
We will talk about introduction, our vocabulary, what is it not, what are the components of this thinking critically, how this life skill can change your life, what kinds of behaviors are necessary to successfully incorporate this skill, what are the advantage and disadvantage of using this life skill, who are 5 important experts in the field of this life skill. What do those experts say? Our group members' experience, our challenge, and finally our conclusion from completing this project.
First, I will start with some general information about thinking critically. Thinking critically is among the first cause for change, but is period in schools, for no other reasons than it conditions the mind to suspect the form and function of everything it sees, including your classroom and everything being taught in it.
Second, I will move on to our vocabulary. Skill means an ability that has been acquired by training. Improve means to make better. Critical means of a serious examination and adjustment of something. Solving means finding a solution to a problem. Thinking means endowed with the capacity to reason. Logic means the branch of philosophy that analyzes inference. Reasoning means the action of thinking about something in a logical, sensible way. Understanding means the condition of someone who knows comprehension. Ability means quality of having the means or skills to do something. Emotion means any strong feeling.
So, what is not? One big misconception is that critical thinking is something to use to win arguments. This especially shows up when some opinion is divided and leads into a discussion, and then invariably glows about the other party's inability to think critically about the subject.
Let's move to the next topic. What are the components of thinking critically? Components that we need in order to be able to think critically are reasoning, open mind, analysis, and logic.
Now, I want to describe how this life skill can change your life. Critical thinking enhances language and presentation skills. Thinking clearly and systematically can improve the way we express our ideas. In learning how to analyze the logical structure of text, critical thinking also improves comprehension abilities.
Let's move to the next part, which is what kinds of behaviors are necessary to successfully incorporate this skill. So first, thinking critically can help you understand the opinions of other people. Self-confidence in one's own ability to reason. Flexibility in considering alternatives and opinions. And fair-mindedness in appraising reasoning.
We can see the advantage and disadvantage. First, the advantage of using critical thinking is that it gives us a better understanding of things, such as learning. From our experience writing a diary for a total of 20 days, we can see that if we do not prejudice with such things first and try to find a reason, we will really find the meaning of it. That makes us learn better because we understand from different perspectives. And the disadvantage of using critical thinking is that it took us a long time to find the facts. as in our case, by writing a diary for a total of 20 days. We can see that it took many days for us to understand the purpose of the teacher for the students to organize the event called iSchool Kickoff 2020 by ourselves, which took several days for us to really understand the purpose of it. It means that we have to look at the small problems that can lead to answers.
I would now like to change direction and talk about 5 important experts in the fields of this life skill. First, Richard Paul, Winger, Douglas Martin, Kane Adamson, and Robert Ennis. Those experts said that critical thinking is the art of thinking about your thinking while you are thinking in order to make your thinking better, more clear, more accurate, or more defensible. By Paul Winger, Adamson, and Martin, 1989. Critical thinking is reasonably and reflectively deciding what to believe or do. By Robert Ennis, 1985. And critical thinking is the base understood as the ability of thinkers to take charge of their own thinking. This requires that they develop sound criteria and standards for analyzing and assessing their own thinking and routinely use those criteria and standards to improve its quality. By Elder and Paul, 1994.
So now we come to the next point, which is our group members' experience. In my experience over the past month, it gave me a better understanding of critical thinking, and it helped me solve the problems logically and efficiently. For example, from where I will give up my intention to do events, it turns out that I can do it. I just need to think for a reason and not prejudice it.
And in my experience, critical thinking gives me a broader perspective. When I think critically, it makes me more rational and aware of other people's opinions and reasons before making decisions. I reduce my morals and emotions, making me see problems more clearly in the place that happen. Also at the iSchool Kickoff 2020 event, which is one of my branch learning activities that I work with my friends working on. I solve problems within the event and manage them to end well, using reason, not just emotion.
Next, our challenges. This thinking critically topic is something we're not used to, and it is quite new to us, so it takes a lot of time to fully understand it. Also, as part of the process of understanding, it's quite difficult. Since this is a sensitive issue, it takes reason and emotion to come together to produce a good result. However, understanding about critical thinking is not just a theoretical study, but requires a long-term accumulation of experience to truly understand. And by the way, the other problem that we are experiencing is workload, because there are many projects at our branch which results in us having no time to focus on this project.
I would like to end with a conclusion from this project. First, critical thinking is thinking about things in certain ways to arrive at the best possible solution in the circumstance that the thinker is aware of. In more everyday language, it is a way of thinking about whatever is presently occupying your mind so that you come to the best possible conclusion. Second, critical thinkers rigorously question ideas and assumptions rather than accepting them at face value. They will always seek to determine whatever the ideas, agreements, and findings represent the entire picture and are open to finding that they do not. Critical thinkers will identify, analyze, and solve problems systematically rather than by intuition or instincts. Finally, once you understand the theory of critical thinking, improving your critical thinking skills take persistence and practice to succeed in thinking critically.
That brings the presentation to the end. Thank you for your attention.